This is Ticats today for a Thursday, August the 19th, 2021. It's digital host Louie B on the Ticats audio network. Thanks for tuning in wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of this show or some of our other shows, including Ticats This Week with RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker, which will be dropping later today, or it's maybe already dropped. So check wherever you're checking out this one to see if you can listen to that new podcast. And Ticats still on their bye week. Noticed on social media that some guys are making their way or have made their way back to Hamilton, getting set to return to practice this weekend. Here on Ticats today with the team on bye, we've been checking out some of the other matchups throughout the week, and we'll do that with Mike Hogan, play-by-play voice of the Toronto Argonauts. So we'll preview the Argos and Bombers going down Saturday at 4 p.m. with him. We'll also be joined by the mayor of Hamilton, Fred Eisenberger, and the president and COO of the Hamilton Ticats, Matt Afinec. And we'll be joined by them because earlier today, Hamilton Public Health Services, the City of Hamilton, and the Hamilton Ticats announced a partnership to host mobile COVID-19 clinics during Ticats practices next week. So here at Tim Hortons Field on August 23rd and 24th, as well as August 25th, so 10:30 to 2 on the first 2 days and 10:30 to 1 on the 25th, you'll be able to get vaccinated, watch practice, and win prizes. So if you haven't received your first dose or if you haven't gotten your second dose yet, you can come down here to Tim Hortons Field. You'll be able to watch practice, which is otherwise closed to the public in 2021. You'll receive a voucher to win you'll receive a voucher for 2 tickets to any 2021 Forge FC regular season home game. And just for coming down, getting your shot, you'll be automatically entered into a draw to win tickets to Ticats games or autographed Ticats and Forge FC jerseys. You don't need an appointment. Just come down here August 23rd, 24th, 10:30 to 2, and August 25th, 10:30 to 1 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome, encouraged. You can enter Tim Hortons Field through Gate 2. And to discuss this a little bit further, let's bring in the president and chief operational officer of the Hamilton Ticats and Forge FC, Matt Afinec. And Matt, I know the city of Hamilton has a great partnership already with the Hamilton Ticats and vice versa, but another example of that with these mobile vaccination clinics.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned partnership with the city, Louis. It needs to start there. The Ticats and Forge are amazing partners with the city of Hamilton, starting at Tim Hortons Field. But it's just another great example of us working together to do and put an initiative forward that we think is great for our community. The open vaccination clinic will occur the 23rd, 24th, 25th at Tim Hortons Field. And as you alluded to, CFL COVID protocols have practices closed. We've worked with the CFL and the city to have that lifted, given the importance of the effort and the endeavor here to get as many citizens in our community vaccinated, and in this case, do it in a unique kind of setting, being able to come down and watch the Ticats practice.
And, we've talked about it so much about the importance of getting vaccinated for life to get back to normal. And I think, here in Hamilton, maybe even made more important because we got a big date circled on the calendar in December, and obviously we want to be at full capacity by the time that rolls around.
Yeah, no doubt. The Grey Cup game on December 12th is coming up, and obviously vaccination rate first and foremost to protect people in our community, Louis, and we all know that that's our path back, to what we would define as kind of normalcy. But getting as many people vaccinated has so many important reasons to do so, and of which obviously Grey Cup is a big one, and as is getting back to full capacity as soon as we possibly can for the Ticats regular season. And that notion of full capacity and a full crowd, just provides so much. It provides to the players and coaches, both soccer and football. It's obviously important to our organization to have as many of our great fans as we can into Tim Hortons Field, and our path to do that, obviously, is to get as many people vaccinated as we can.
And he mentions, the importance of this community to the team, and to that point, I mean, why is it? Why do we need to be hosting these clinics, right? What is that connection between the city, the team, and just kind of the common good of the community of Hamilton?
Well, I know as an organization, both teams, we have a responsibility to service the community that supports us. And in this particular case, that service is providing a unique setting to get a vaccination, a critically important thing going on in society these days. But we drive so much of our decision making on the responsibility that we have to our community, that we have to our fans, and always putting our best foot forward to support both in whatever we can do to make an impact.
I got to get your thoughts on what we've seen on the field. Not what we've been hoping for, but I know you have full confidence that Coach O is going to get this thing turned around.
Absolutely nothing but the ultimate trust and faith in Coach O, his staff, all of our players and coaches. Obviously not the way we wanted to start, but it's the great news is we got 12 left.
Matt, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Louie.
That is the president and COO of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, along with Forage FC, Matt Afinec. And let's continue on this conversation. And I am very pleased to be joined by the mayor of Hamilton, Mayor Fred Eisenberger. Mayor, I know you're a busy guy, so I appreciate you taking some time here to talk to me about this very important initiative.
Great to be here. And it's exciting times to be looking forward to some live games that we can look forward to, including Grey Cup, some forage and some Ticat participation, and of course having a vaccine clinic on the 23rd, 24th, 25th at our Tim Hortons field, and allowing folks to dive into a practice if they've gotten vaccinated is I think going to be helpful. So we're looking to have more and more people vaccinated, and clearly there's some areas in the city where we're lagging behind, and we want every citizen to do their part to protect themselves, their families, and do their best on behalf of our community.
Why was this an important partnership to kind of pull this off? I noticed you've partnered with Spectra as well to have some free skates. I mean, you're really going all out to get as many people vaccinated as you can.
Yeah, well, so far the voluntary kind of work has been successful, and we've had our mass vaccination sites, all of which now are walk-in opportunities. So folks can walk into any of our vaccination sites and pick a Pfizer or Moderna vaccine and get vaccinated. But we're also finding that we need to outreach even more in some of the areas that are lagging behind, and certainly in and around the stadium area is actually one area where vaccine rates aren't what they should be. We're also seeing lower vaccine rates out in Flamborough, and we're having special mobile pop-up clinics there. Some areas in Bimbrook and some areas in and around the Red Hill Valley, all of which are lagging behind, and we want to make sure that we find creative ways of getting people the opportunity to get this vaccine. And obviously, risk and reward. Often there's that people are sometimes driven by incentives, and certainly being able to go to the stadium and watch a forage or a Tiger Cat practice, is certainly could be an inducement for some to actually get vaccinated and start enjoying some of the things they'd like to enjoy.
We know that vaccinations is one of the best things, one of the easiest things we can do to get back to normal. And speaking of back to normal, Labor Day Classic, we're excited to host some fans here. But the Grey Cup is a date that a lot of people have circled on the calendar. And again, as mayor, you got to be excited at the opportunity to showcase this beautiful city to the rest of Canada and the world.
Absolutely. We're keen on the Grey Cup. We would have liked to have seen it happen last year, of course, in a different venue with wide open access and everybody able to come freely and without any restrictions. But that's still not where we're at. But the reality is Grey Cup is happening, and that's a great thing. I've invited the Premier and a number of ministers that I've spoke to in the last few days, and they're equally excited about the opportunity to come to Hamilton and celebrate the Grey Cup as well, and celebrate the great CFL and our kind of longest running sports institution in the country is the CFL. So, Tiger fans, I sure are ready and hopeful that the Tiger Cats can make it to the Grey Cup. That'd be the perfect scenario. But either way, it is going to be a great celebration, one that we haven't been able to have for the past couple of years.
And Mayor Eisenberger, if someone is unable to make it down here next week and it still has questions or needs the locations of where they could get vaccinated, what sort of resources can they seek out?
Yeah, they can call our hotline at the city helpline at 546-2689. That's always available to them, and they can get directed to resources in public health, or at hamilton.ca/get your vaccine online. All of the information around where it's available, how it's available, when the mobile clinics are happening, what max vaccination sites are still open, and some of the special events that we're hosting to get to people with the vaccine. All of them are available there on the website or through that phone number.
Mayor Eisenberger, thank you so much for the time this afternoon. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
The mayor of the city of Hamilton, Mr. Fred Eisenberger. My thanks to him for joining me, and my thanks, of course, to Matt Afinec, who joined us a little bit earlier. All right, for all the details, ticats.ca, City of Hamilton as well. Their website has everything you need to know. Let's turn our attention back to football, and very excited that for the first time in more than 640 days, there will be CFL played in the province of Ontario. Although I wish it was here in Hamilton, it's right down the QEW on Saturday when the Argos host the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Week 3 action. The man on the call on TSN 1050 will be Mike Hogan. And Hoagie, football being played in Ontario, an exciting weekend in the city of Toronto.
Oh, it's great. You know, it's been so long, and for those of us who, continued to work in the league, even though there was no league on the field in 2020, it seemed like forever. And especially in our case, where the end of 2019 wasn't exactly something to write home about. You guys had the run into November in Hamilton. After Labor Day, essentially, it was kind of, okay, is there any way we can get through this quicker? So there was so much optimism in 2020 because, I think we honestly thought we had a playoff team in 2020 with some of the moves that Pinball and John Murphy and Vince Magri made. And, that was taken even another step in the offseason in 2021. So, to see all of that work finally come to fruition, and I haven't traveled the first two games, so this is my first chance to see them live since 2019. So I just can't wait for Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Speaking of anticipation, Nick Arbuckle getting the start this weekend. Obviously, we know what happened in the offseason. They wanted to bring him in. He's got that relationship with Ryan Dinwiddie. There's got to be excitement to see what he can do with a week's worth of practice with the first team in his first start here as an Argo.
Yeah, and Nick handled his situation well, where he was nicked up, no pun intended, most of training camp. And, Mac played exceptionally well and then came out and had that great game in Calgary, still the highest passing yardage total in the league so far this year. And then obviously stubbed his toe against a very good Winnipeg defense. And there's no way that that offensive struggle was all on McLeod Bethel-Thompson. But, every once in a while, especially at that position, sometimes the change is good. And it's not like there's any drop-off, if a drop-off at all, between McLeod Bethel-Thompson and Nick Arbuckle. So, there's a comfort level. He knows the offense a little bit better than McLeod because he was around it with Ryan Dinwiddie in Calgary. So I think there's a comfort level there. And, obviously Nick has worked with several of the receivers before from his days in Calgary. So, I think everybody's anxious to see what can happen on Saturday. And, he was brought here for a reason, and there's a reason that a lot of those, experts around the league feel that he's one of the next up-and-coming young stars in the CFL. So we'll get a chance to see him get first team reps this week. We have been doing that. He's looked good, and we'll get a chance to see him put those reps into action on Saturday.
And now I know that there are very few tickets available for Saturday, and I think if you're thinking of going, even for Ticats fans who want to see CFL in person, I know there are very few tickets left at BMO Field on Saturday. Maybe just talk real quick about the fans and the passion that the fans have for this team and the attempts to bring in new people. And I know the marketing staff and your content team has been doing such a great job, really putting out some high quality stuff. But bringing in new fans to BMO Field, how's that been going?
It actually was going well. I don't know what the final numbers were, but at one point, and it helps having the Grey Cup, but I think the Ticats since the end of 2019 had the most new season subscribers, and I think we were second. So the guys have been working hard and girls have been working hard, and it's getting those bums in the seats. And some people complain about BMO being a difficult place to get to. Maybe it's easier for me from Whitby because I'm right on the goal line. But we have season ticket holders from the United States who come to BMO. We have season ticket holders in Belleville and Trenton and, north to Barrie and into southwestern Ontario that want to come down. So many players' parents now, London Way, Arjun Cahoon's parents are down in Windsor. So, they're going to be making the effort. It's not a difficult place to get to. I know we're all kind of trafficked out in Toronto, but, on a Saturday afternoon, the opportunity to come down and see some live football or to come down the QEW from the Hammer and see some live CFL. It's not that difficult a place to get to, especially if you're on the goal line, the east-west line, the lakeshore line, because it is an easy place. Get off at, Exhibition Station, and it's a 30-second walk to your seat.
Yeah, I was at Arkells on the last weekend, and I just, it was my first time on the GO train in a while. And like you said, if you're on the GO line, it's such an easy. And I'm encouraging all Ticats fans. I know you've been desperate for CFL football in this area, so I'm trying myself to make it there on Saturday. And Hoagie, if I make it there, hopefully I can find some time with you, a couple minutes to chat there. Thanks for doing this.
Anytime, Lou. You know that, pal.
That is Mike Hogan, the play-by-play voice of the Toronto Argonauts. All right, that's it for us today on today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My thanks to Matt Afinec, Fred Eisenberger, and of course Mike Hogan for joining me today. Be sure to tune in to tomorrow's show as we wrap up the week and preview that last CFL matchup of the week as well. And then next week the Ticats are back, and finally we'll have some Ticats to talk about once again. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place, wherever you got this podcast for the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie B, hoping you have a great day.